Now, runner-up, Sha'Carri Richardson. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, based on what we saw last week, based on what we saw at the end of 2021. She goes 10:92, runs the same time as Shrika Jackson, but she got the nod over Shrika Jackson, beats Dina Asher-Smith, who's just coming off a Diamond League victory in her own right. I mean, this was a great performance for Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, some people say, oh, she lost. Oh, she was a 10th or more back. You're judging her then on this scale that she has to be better than the Olympic gold medalist and potentially the greatest women's 100-meter runner of all time. I mean, just go back to last year's Prefontaine Classic. Think about where she was there post Olympics, and she got last place. Now she's running and getting second, a solid second. She looked really good in the back half of this race. She was wearing a crown or a tiara. It came off in the middle of the race. Didn't matter. She still was able to get up for second place. And with Richardson, this was the 5th fastest time she's ever run, wind legal. 10:72, 10:74, 10:75, 10:77, and then 10:95 before today. So this was a good performance by any standard. Now, you're going to say, all right, well, early last year she was running 10:7s, so she's behind where she was at. Well, maybe. She may be behind where she was, but she's raced infrequently, we can say. And obviously last year kind of threw her off her rhythm. And I think, look, if she goes through the rest of the season and she loses to Thompson Hurrah and loses to Fraser Price, I think that's a good season. I know, yeah, everybody's going to say, oh, it's gold or nothing, or it doesn't matter. But based on where she was, I mean, this is the best performance she's had since the Olympic trials last year. Because we all know what happened after that. Suspension, then she comes back, never finds a rhythm. As I mentioned, she gets last at pre. She runs some races in Europe that weren't as good as her races before the season, and then she goes and runs the races in Jacksonville. And even if you just compare where she finished, in Jacksonville in relation to the people that were in that race versus today, you've seen the jump up in performance. So I don't think this is anything other than positive for Sha'Carri Richardson. And it just goes to show you the fluctuating expectations games that we play with superstar athletes of, oh, this is a success. Oh, this is a failure. I said after Jacksonville last week, I said, it could be that she's just a young athlete working through some stuff. And that once she gets it right, she can be a medalist and potentially be in the mix for gold medals one day. But somehow the standard of success for her became you have to beat Thompson Hurrah and Fraser Price when they're at their absolute peak, meaning if you want 2 of the top 3, 2 of the top 4, I don't know. Even if you want to be the most generous, someone could even make an argument they're the top 2 of all time. And I'm sure people wouldn't argue with you about that. So your competition matters. And I think if Richardson can win USA's and make that world championship final, get some more experience and come away with the bronze, I think, most people would have taken that result at the end of last year, at the beginning of this year. People were questioning whether or not she was going to run a month ago. And now she's in a diamond league, a tough diamond league, and she's getting second. Only positives, I think, out of this race for her. If there was a betting line attached to it, her odds would have gone up. So that's how I feel about the women's 100. Jackson was pretty good there, 10:92. Asher-Smith coming back up. She won at home and then big travel over here. I'm not going to read too much into that other than she's in the mix. Tanisha Terry, sub 11 there. That's solid. Nothing too crazy on the back half of that. As we mentioned, someone's going to have to finish last and second to last. And because of the strength of the field, it's going to make them look worse than they actually are. All right, but let's go. Let's go to the men's 100. Let's go